โตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ I will have to speak in two languages, but I cannot speak both languages at the same time. So allow me to speak first in English. ตัวแม่จะกลับมาพูดเป็นภาษาไทยตอนครึ่งหลังนะคะ Why I chose to speak in English first, you will understand towards the end. ตัวแม่ขออนุญาตพูดเป็นภาษาอังกฤษก่อนลูกจะเข้าใจว่าทำไมนะคะ I have a good news to share. Yesterday, it was a very busy day for me. They celebrate International Pikuni Day. And I was thinking, why September 17th? Is there any other important message beyond that? Of course, it was 158th birthday anniversary of the Bodhisattva Namapala. I don't call him Anagarika because towards the end of his life he was ordained as a bhikkhu. So if he was alive, he would be 158 years. Whenever Anagarika has a long history, and all of us Buddhists, we have much to pay respect to him because it was he at that time who actually visited India to see how Bodh Gaya was in such a terrible state, and he was the one who actually finally gained the access for us so that we could go to Bodh Gaya and to pay respect to the Bodhi tree. Many more details, and he started this Mahabodhi Society of India. Or for those of you who traveled to India in 1950s and 1960s, you don't have anywhere else to go but to start with Mahabodhi Society of India. So as we flew to Calcutta, at that time it was still called Calcutta, now they call Kolkata. The place that you have to look for is Mahabodhi Society in Kolkata. It is at the College Square, number 4, Chatterjee Street. I even remember the address because that was the address I had to memorize for my trip to India. My very first trip, my very first night, I stayed in Mahabodhi Society of India. Such a long history I have. Now I would like to introduce to you Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathero. He is a very important person that I would like to introduce to you today. He was ordained when he was very young as a Sinhalese. He was born in a Buddhist family with 5 brothers and 6 sisters. Can you imagine that big family? And he was ordained when he was only 9 years old. Yes, and in his education, I noted last night that he did his university level education from Sampurna University. This is coincidence. I did not know of this Sampurna before, and we named our Bodhisattva that we casted last 2 years, we named him Sampurna. Sampurna means complete. So Venerable Sivali symbolically came in for the completion of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. He is very young to be Secretary General of Mahabodhi Society of India. I think his appointment came in the year 2016, I think. He was the one who actually proposed that Mahabodhi Society of India could host international ordination for bhikkhunis. And that was how, in the year 2019, just before the breakout of COVID, we were so lucky that we organized international ordination for the bhikkhunis, Theravada bhikkhunis, with him hosting, Mahabodhi Society of India hosting that ordination. And that's why at least 5 of the bhikkhunis, our own bhikkhunis here were ordained at that time. I cannot read my own handwriting. I just scribbled it just now. Yes, now last night at this gathering, it was online and UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, were organizing it. Of course, we always jointly organize with Mahabodhi Society of India, and I was missing Venerable P. Sivali. He was not there in the beginning, and I was concerned. But towards the end, he came towards the end. Why? Because he was attending another conference. Interesting. Now when he came in, after all of us have given us talk, he came in and he said he had something very interesting, something good news for us. He just had a meeting, executive meeting, with Mahabodhi Society, and they have decided to appoint all the UTBSI coordinators, Bhikkhuni coordinators, as honorary members of Mahabodhi Society of India. So all of us, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I have to give you names of the Bhikkhunis who were invited to become honorary members of Mahabodhi Society of India. We go by seniority. The first one is Venerable Bhikkhuni Tathaloka. She was ordained since 1997, in United States. And then the next one is Venerable Santini. Venerable Santini from Indonesia. She was ordained in 2000, the year 2000. And then Venerable Dr. Liu Pham from Vietnam. She was ordained in the year 2002. And then myself from Thailand, I was fully ordained in the year 2003. And then we have the next one is she's Sri Lankan, but she lives in Australia. So she represents both Australia as well as Sri Lanka. Venerable something Bodhicitta, sorry, I missed the last word, Bodhicitta. And then we have Venerable Sumangala. Venerable Sumangala, the youngest one, represents Malaysia. So we have these bhikkhunis from six countries, all of them were appointed as honorary member of Mahabodhi Society of India. It was such a great honor. And of course we can guess the person who is behind all this is Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathero. He is the one really, I have to say, he is the one who is really responsible for this coming together of the Theravada Bhikkhunis and the birth of UTBSI is because of him, because of his energy, because of his sincerity, because of his very open heart to see that the sisters also have space to walk on this planet as bhikkhunis, as given to us by the Buddha. So I would like to honor not the 6 bhikkhunis, but I represent the 6 bhikkhunis who were appointed last night. I would like to represent them to pay respect to Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathero. Now you can make offering of flowers. These flowers go to Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathera. So this is offering to the Buddha. We offer this to Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathero for taking the bhikkhunis on his shoulders. When I say this, I feel so deep gratitude, for someone like him to come forward to find the space for the bhikkhunis. So great respect to Venerable P. Sivali Nayaka Mahathero.